Let's begin. A logo flashes across the screen. A menu appears. A couple clicks more, and a few seconds later, a new world is made. While the world itself is new, its sounds and features are immediately familiar. Bit by bit, your surroundings become more and more immersive. Exploration is the new objective. Some more ground is made, new things discovered. But then, you start to hear it. Music. Suddenly, the world is made new again. Welcome to Minecraft. At least, the Minecraft I first experienced in 2012. Even though the version I played would be considered threadbare compared to Minecraft today, it has always felt expansive and alluring thanks to one component in particular: its sound. But this, along with the core gameplay and features of Minecraft, took substantial time and effort to develop. Minecraft began as a project known as Cave Game in 2009, created by Marcus Persson, otherwise known as Notch. The soul of Minecraft was inspired by games such as Dwarf Fortress, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Dungeon Keeper, and Infiniminer, all of which were some of Persson's favorite games, which influenced Minecraft's core design pillars in various ways. The early development of Minecraft was fueled by community input and testing, gaining prominence through the indie game forum TIG Source, onto which it was first published. From May 17th of 2009 to June 29th of 2010, this community input shaped the pre-alpha versions through testing and providing feedback on such features as survival mode, procedural world generation, and multiplayer. Even today, community input continues to guide much of the game's modern development, but even with the proliferation of gameplay features throughout Minecraft's development, the evolution of its sound followed an interesting path due to one crucial caveat. Minecraft's engine could not handle sound well at all. Some background to start. The primary composer for most of Minecraft's history has been Daniel Rosenfeld, also known as C418. Rosenfeld was an active member of the TIG Source forum around the same time Persson was, and began collaborating with Persson after offering to make music for Minecraft. However, Rosenfeld quickly learned the limitations on sound inherent to Minecraft's engine at the time. The engine itself only had 20 sound channels to work with, and often choked when playing multiple atmospheric sound loops. So if there were multiple sources for sound effects, they had to fight with one another over which would play and which would not. Rosenfeld also originally had plans for adaptive audio, such as proximity volume and footsteps echoing underground, but these too were dashed. Rosenfeld frustratedly described the issue in an interview with The Guardian in 2014. Quote, "So imagine there's a creeper in that house way over there. Technically, you shouldn't be able to hear him because he's right over there and there's a wall between you. But in the game, you can hear them because telling the program there's a wall takes so much computing and processing power that it's just not worth doing." Unquote. Many of the ideas that Rosenfeld had for other pieces of adaptive audio were similarly struck down, so a unique soundscape was created as a result. Predominantly silent and tranquil, with simplistic sound effects and a periodic background music track, facilitating a reflective and almost alien experience for first-time players, and a comforting yet intriguingly calm experience for veteran players. It is this feeling that makes the gameplay of Minecraft so memorable. Sound never demands your attention over gameplay, but informs and bizarrely enhances it through large absences. When a sound is heard, it's certain to catch a player's attention. But we're still painting in broad strokes with regards to sound design. Let's break it down into parts: interactive audio, adaptive audio, and music. The interactive audio of Minecraft denotes the various sound effects caused by the player, such as interacting with special blocks and/or items, damaging and/or interacting with mobs, and self-damage. All of these sounds either communicate or enunciate certain gameplay information relevant to the player that connect them to their immediate surroundings, providing proper feedback when interacting with the world. While not groundbreakingly special at first glance, the simplicity and instant familiarity of these sounds trains players by ear to better interact with their environment. For instance, a player approaches a green block in the desert. When they make contact, the player damage sound plays instantly, accompanied by the flashing and lowering of the health meter. The green block is a cactus, they conclude. No touching the cactus. Lesson learned. Or, better yet, night has fallen. A player is continuing their business of the day, collecting resources in the woods. A hissing sound is heard, but no immediate danger can be seen. Then, an explosion, a flash of red, and probably a shout of frustration and confusion from the player. A new, albeit strange lesson is learned. Hissing means explosion, and explosion means death. Right. Got it. Later on, they come across a strange green creature that makes the same hiss when the player is in close proximity. Now, creature means hissing, which means explosion, which means death. This is an important lesson to learn early, one that will inevitably trigger quick player reaction later on when faced with the same danger, and as a result, probably save their life. This trial and error style of gameplay is one of the greatest gifts Minecraft has to offer players, making that classic first night experience, hell, even first week experience, all the more memorable. The open-world nature of the game constantly allows for this kind of emergent narrative, that of the player's journey, to unfold in lockstep with the audiovisual lessons taught throughout gameplay. Now, let's move on to adaptive audio. Although Rosenfeld had much difficulty realizing many of the initial ideas he had for adaptive audio, there were still areas within which he could implement it to improve immersion. With each block in Minecraft, there are several sound components that cement their place in the world that they occupy. Mining sounds, breaking sounds, placing sounds, and underfoot sounds. Between grass, sand, and stone blocks, all of them are different from each other in all of these sound categories. However, there are certain block sets that utilize similar sounds between them. Grass, dirt, and gravel all share similar audio characteristics, and all of the hard blocks alongside stone generally share the same. While the individual sound differences demonstrate important distinctions in block properties to the player, these sets are often found alongside one another between biome areas, such as plains, deserts, caves, and, of course, hell itself. Naturally. Even Rosenfeld's early dream of varied ambience for different biomes was realized in the Nether update, with atmospheric differences in sound between the Crimson Forests, the Basalt Deltas, and the Soul Sand Valleys. All of these sound profiles create further immersion relative to their biome, thereby immersing players into the world even more. Finally, we've come to my favorite category, music. I have been enamored with Minecraft's soundtrack since I first played the game. It felt soothing, strange, calm, and curious all at once, and to this day, I have never gotten tired of listening to it, both in and out of the game. Incidentally, Rosenfeld also took inspiration from Dwarf Fortress when composing the first tracks for Minecraft, citing its lovely guitar music as an effective driving force for players when combined with its low-fidelity graphics. This combination, according to Rosenfeld, often left him thinking, maybe I should keep playing, maybe there's more to this game. This is the exact sentiment he wanted to impart to players of Minecraft. And with Volume Alpha, his first album composed for Minecraft's OST, he does just that, combining warm yet haunting piano melodies with hypnotic synthesizer accompaniment, often with no underlying percussion or rhythm at all, further accentuating the sense of remoteness and adventure to be had, and driving players to find the missing pieces throughout their voyages. But description alone can only do the music so much justice, so I'd like to take a moment to let it speak for itself. For as difficult as I find it to play favorites with this game's OST, this track, Mice on Venus, has to be one of my favorites. The song perfectly blends this sense of beautiful and mysterious melancholy with a driving force of wonder and adventure, a masterpiece as both a perfect foil to gameplay and as an enthralling standalone track. When I hear this play, I feel my hundreds of hours played and memories made all rush through me at once like an ocean. A euphoric current of indescribable nostalgia and emotion, swirling about with all of the wonderful times I had playing Minecraft. The joy I had with every vein of diamonds found, every cliffside house and castle built, and with every dragon defeated alongside my best friends. Am I biased? Absolutely. But that's exactly the point. The magic of Minecraft's music is not just confined to each singular play session. It compounds and proliferates beyond each world and each generation. 141 million people have played their own first version of Minecraft, have had their own first days and first nights, with different features and details that they specifically remember, unique to their own experience. But the one common thread, the instantly recognizable and most familiar aspect of all of these experiences, it's music. Even with the incredible new additions to the OST made by artists like Lena Raine and Kumi Tanioka in recent updates, this effect is by no means diluted, but enhanced. Old players first fell in love with the old music, but that feeling of first-time intrigue and adventure is rekindled by the newer tracks in Minecraft. Speaking as an older player myself, I can attest that Raine and Tanioka have carried the torch with flying colors. For new players, there's just that much more to enjoy and appreciate about the game, as they find their own favorites that will soon evoke that same nostalgic joy. But this is all still conjecture. Let's take another listen to some of these latest compositions. Ethereal, elegant, alluring, and contemplative. There are plenty more words to describe them, but I find that they certainly hit the mark. Primarily using piano as their driving instrument paired with synthesized accompaniment, with no percussion or rhythm to speak of. Capturing this essence of Minecraft is no easy task, given the game's intimidatingly vast legacy and player base. But when it comes to music, I feel that I can safely say Minecraft is in good hands. I have had no comparable experience in any other game than when I heard that music for the first time. The visuals, the premise, even the game itself was simple in presentation, but that sense of possibility was palpable, unquantifiable. Some of my fondest memories playing games have been formed playing Minecraft on lazy Saturday mornings, with my brother and my friends on our Xbox 360, wandering about a sandbox of blocks making and doing whatever we wanted. I won't pretend I'm not biased, because I undeniably am. But when that music plays, when that adventure begins, it becomes easy to understand why millions have the same fondness for Minecraft as I do. Thanks for watching.